Hey, so I just got done watching some YouTube videos about how to farm Harbingers, the best ways to do it, etc. And they're just so full of misinformation that I just had to make this video. I don't know why, but these guys just get really lazy with their content and they just make like misinformation content and just smash it out. But I have only farmed Harbingers pretty much for the last few leagues, except Affliction, where I started farming Harbingers and then switched to Wildwood in the end. But ever since Ritual, I've only farmed Harbingers, except last league, where it was 50-50. So I know the ins and outs of it, and I can tell you that right now. I'll share all the secrets. You're gonna get everything. You're gonna get everything you need to know about Harbingers. I'm going to tell you the best ways to do it. I'm going to tell you the most practical ways to do it. I'm going to tell you what makes the most money, and I'm also going to tell you what's like not only what makes the most money, but like how to make it sustainable for you. Okay. So here we go. I don't know how I got so passionate about Harbingers. Obviously, farming for 3 years probably does it to you. But yeah, this is how you actually farm Harbingers. So let's go to our atlas. Alright, so the first thing you need to know about Harbingers, which you probably already do know, is Harbingers aren't affected by quantity or quality in maps or from yourself. So the actual Harbingers. Also, okay, I think we need to take it back one step further and define what a Harbinger is. So a Harbinger is the boss, like the blue boss in your map, right? That blue dude in your map who summons other people and you kill them and then eventually he dies and drops you shards. That's what a Harbinger is, right? So the quantity and quality in your map affects the guys he summons, but it does not affect him or the shards he drops. Okay? So that's the most important point about a Harbinger. So quality and quantity does affect like your RNG at the end of the day, because a Harbinger summons a lot of rare monsters, which boost your quality and quantity, and then you get a lot of drops from that. But their actual shards are never affected by that, either from your own rarity on your items or quantity from your items, or from the map's quantity or quality. Okay, so basically the shards you get are going to be the same in a white map as they are in a red in the highest quant rare map that you can think of. It doesn't matter. The shards are going to be exactly the same. Okay, so that's one thing. The second thing is that so people have been, for some reason, and it's not only some people, it's not everybody, they've been really overlooking the benefit that Harbinger bosses have to maps. Okay, so a Harbinger boss in your map, this is a 25% chance, but they drop like double the shards, and their shards have higher rarity. Okay, now I haven't like quantified that personally. I haven't gone and done like 1,000 maps and like noted which Harbinger boss drops and a normal Harbinger drops, but it's just from like personal experience, and I think pretty much anybody that farms Harbingers will tell you the same thing. I'm gonna do a Harbinger map soon, and I'll show you like in the map what the difference is between a Harbinger and a Harbinger boss with the shards. I'll show you that soon. So the biggest boost to Harbingers this league is not the discerning fragment, in my opinion. I think the discerning thing can be like just boxed away. That is all RNG. I think the biggest boost for Harbingers this league is having 50% more bosses in your map, which is 3 times the amount of bosses you could have before, because you went from 25% of Harbinger bosses to having 75% Harbinger bosses with the Scarab. Now, because this is the perfect Harbinger Scarab setup right here. 1 Harbinger Scarab, 1 Harbinger Scarab of Discernment, 1 Harbinger Scarab of Regency, and 1 Harbinger Scarab of Warhoards. This is the perfect setup. If you're just farming Harbingers, you're never ever gonna find anything better than this. And Like this is the best. But that's only if you're just farming Harbingers. I've seen other setups which have 2 Harbinger Scarabs, and they'll drop the Warhoards, and they'll have the Regency, and they'll have the Discernment. If you're gonna drop one Scarab, it will be the Warhoards. That's the best one to drop. Don't drop the Regency. Don't drop the Discernment. If you only have 3. Okay. I had to farm with 3 Scarabs before I got my T17 completion, and these are the 3 I chose. Yeah, you only add this one in when you get your 4th slot. So yeah, it's but those Harbinger strategies that I was just talking about with the two Harbinger Scarabs, 1 Regency, and 1 Discernment, they weren't farming Harbingers. Those were farming Scarabs, because of the Harbinger spawning so many rares in. So you're never going to get more Harbinger shards with that. That's all. That you're never going to get more mirror shards. You're never going to get more fracturing shards. That's for having more Scarabs drop because of more rare monsters. But that's also, to get on a little bit of a tangent, that's a little bit of a 50-50 toss-up itself, because you're spending more times with Harbingers. The biggest issue with Harbingers is you have to spend time for them to summon their monsters. If you add 3 additional Harbingers to your map, you're spending time of 3 additional Harbingers summoning monsters. I think the Warhoards is far more efficient because it doubles the amount of shards you already get. So basically, if you do it with this setup and you do it with the Atlas tree with all the Harbinger nodes selected, you have 7 additional Harbingers, and then you double their shards. Okay, but if you don't have this, then you have 10 additional Harbingers, and you don't double their shards, but you spend like time killing 3 additional Harbingers. So this is far more efficient if you're farming shards. This is more efficient if you're just farming Scarabs, because you're killing the rares and getting the Scarabs off them with that tree. Okay, so yeah, this is the best way to farm Harbingers with the Scarab setup. It's undeniable. This is it. Okay, the other thing about Harbingers is, obviously, since they don't care about map quantity or quality, the most efficient way to farm Harbingers, if all you want is Scarabs, is to just run white map after white map after white map after white map, and that's it. All you do is to just run Harbinger to Harbinger to Harbinger. You don't care about any of the monsters in there. All you want to do is be inside a blue circle. That's the most efficient way to run Harbingers if all you care about is shards. Okay, so that means like any quality or rarity on your tree is just wasted, right? So that's all well and good, but the thing is, we don't always get mirror shards, we don't always get fracturing shards. So far this league, I've had 2 fracturing shard explosions, one of like 4.8, another one of like 5.8 fracturing orbs. And also before previous leagues, Harbingers have dropped me a mirror, so I've had a mirror shard drop in and be upgraded to the Mirror of Kalandra with this node here. So this node gives you increased cooldown recovery rate, which is extremely important because it means you can farm Harbingers faster. It also gives you currency shards dropped by Harbingers in your map can drop as currency items instead, which means an Exalt shard gets upgraded to an Exalt orb, if possibly. Ancient shard upgraded to Ancient orb, and also mirror shards upgraded to Mirrors of Kalandra, which is what happened to me. And fracturing shards upgraded to fracturing orbs, which obviously has happened a few times. But yeah. So that's no there. But so yeah, if you want to farm just Harbingers, if all you're after is mirrors this league, the most efficient way to do it is farm white maps. Don't give a fuck about anything else. Farm white maps, be inside blue circles, and just run from blue circle to blue circle to blue circle. But that isn't that efficient because you might not hit the RNG boost that you want. So that's where the other mods come in. If you're like a Harbinger farmer. So this is my Harbinger tree right now. Okay, so I've got like increased effective explicit modifiers, and this is because my build is pretty tanky right now, because a lot of builds can't handle farming Harbinger bosses. They summon a lot of rares, and those rares do a lot of damage. If your build can't, then stay away from all these explicit modifiers. And also I've got Scarab nodes selected because of all the rares they summon. So this is my Harbinger tree right here. I'll zoom out. This right here, I did a test. It gives about 12 div an hour on average, and that's with no like extra drops. That's with no lucky RNG. That's just like straight up base. So that's 12 div an hour, but that is running through maps reasonably quickly. That's about like 5 to 6 minutes a map. Also the best map to do, if you don't know, it was City Square, which they've taken out this league. So the next best one is Park, because it's just a square. You just run through it and go from Harbinger to Harbinger. But yeah, this is my current Atlas tree for farming Harbingers, which gives like 12 divs now. I think I've dispelled all the random pseudoscience behind Harbingers so far, which is my aim, honestly. I don't know why I'm so passionate. Anyway, there's still a map, and I'll show you the difference between a normal Harbinger and a Harbinger. I didn't read those. Probably should have. The best builds to do Harbingers are the ones that can stand inside the blue circles fine. Obviously, see, just getting that delirium there, that's already like a negative thing. Oh, immediate delirium boss, hey mate. So this is a, you can see the, this is 174% quantity of items. So this is a pretty like beefy map. So here's a Harbinger boss right here. Just gonna kill the boss with the Harbinger dude. So you can actually drag the Harbingers together a little bit. Like if you see two Harbingers together, you can kind of stand in the middle of them. We've got a lot of ancient. Sorry guys, I just have to do a lot of clicking right now. That's the. And a good way to do the clicking is you just, once you click a few, you just double tap Z, and then it lines up in another list for you. So you can sort of like click up and down. That's what I do. Okay, so I've got my blue altar in here. Let's find another Harbinger. So you saw how many shards that drops. If we can find a normal Harbinger. Yep, so here, right here, see the little guy here? Here's a normal Harbinger. So you'll see how many shards he drops soon. Hopefully it's not mirror. I don't want my mirror shards to be dropped on a little Harbinger. But there you go. See? Just a pitiful amount of Harbingers. See, if you don't have the Harbinger bosses, you get these like tiny little pitiful drops. What's the point of that? There's 0 point. It's like, it feels like they're not even drops. And they're less rarity too. If you get a mirror shard out of or a fracturing shard out of the little pitiful Harbingers, then you just like rolled some godly RNG. There's another little pitiful Harbinger. What is it? Some engineering shards, you know, just a little bit. See how many there is? Now let's go to our this is the map boss. See, if you're like truly running your Harbinger strat, you'll just like skip the map boss because it's just too long. Just run. All you want to do is be inside a blue circle. That's all you got to think about. Be inside a blue circle at all times. It's if you're just rushing Harbingers. Like, you can kill everything else. Obviously, if you're not like, if you've got a more generalized strat, which is what I'm doing right now. Like, so there's the boss. So you can see, drop more shards. Should probably pick up some stuff. But yeah, basically Harbingers themselves, like just normal Harbingers that aren't Harbinger bosses, they're really pitiful when they're shit. Just Harbinger bosses are like where you make your money. So very important you have a Harbinger Scarab of Regency if you care about the shard drops. There we go again. A whole bunch of ancient shards again. Yeah, I think it's mainly the rarity, honestly, with the Harbinger bosses. Like, compared to the Harbingers. Okay, so this is another Harbinger boss. Just chill in the blue circles. So that's the most important thing, is to make sure you got a build that can just chill in the blue circles. You have to be in the blue. That's the shards he drops here. So there's a whole bunch of alteration shards. So didn't hit the RNG, right? But I mean, that's normal. After this, I'll have a look at what we dropped and some alt shards. Yeah, at the moment I'm playing, this is a self, where is it? This is a desynced item. This is a South Poison Bone Shatter build. This is honestly very, very good for this. Because you can just stand in the middle of them and do the damage. Another good build is like Righteous Fire, or just anything that can stand in the middle of a whole bunch of monsters and just do damage to them. Like Caustic, because Harbingers, they spawn those little bubbles where you can't do damage if you're outside them. So you kind of have to be inside the blue circles to do damage to them. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Maybe with that. I'll consider that a clear. This is the loot we got off one map. What's that set up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Scarabs, 13 Scarabs. And then, yeah, just some other stuff. 9 Ancient Orbs. Those are worth like 5C each, that's like 45C. Yeah, and then you get like Exalt drops and you get fracturing drops and things like that. But that's a map anyway. That's how I run a map usually. I just run from Harbinger to Harbinger, kill the boss because the boss drops Scarabs, and then carry on. So mine is like, the current strategy I'm running is more hybrid. But if all I cared about was shards, obviously it'll be, as I said before, white maps running blue circle to blue circle. That's all we care about. So yeah, that's the facts. That's the facts behind farming Harbingers. If you have any questions, ask me. And I don't know how I got so passionate about this, but I am. So there you go. Hey, have fun. Get dank drops. I hope you have a good one. And thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you can. Appreciate that. Thank you.